morning, Miss Northwood.
Good morning, miss. I said yesterday as I would be coming up this morning.
Did you? Oh, yes, so you did.
You know what it's about, miss.
How many guesses?
I'm not a grasping woman, miss, but I can't live on thin air no better than nobody else can.
I know you can't, Miss Northwood, and I'm sorry, but I simply cannot find a job. Well, I wade through all the situations vacant every morning. And look, one miserable boiled egg for breakfast. Oh, and I absolutely lust after bacon and sausage and potato cakes and fried bread and...
Just a couple of pounds, perhaps.
The truth of the matter is, Miss Northwood, that daughters of country vicars are simply not brought up to do anything that anyone will ever pay them for.
Oh, dear. 30 shillings, then?
Well, I've pawned just about everything of value I possess.
A pound, then?
10 bob, Miss Northwood.
Oh,
well, it's all I can manage at the minute. Who is it?
Gosh, sorry.
Well, I won't worry you any more this morning, miss.
Perhaps today will be my lucky day.
Oh, I do hope so, miss, for all our sakes. But your egg will be hard-boiled if you don't watch it.
Oh.
I know it's not none of my business, miss, but have you ever thought of getting married?
Of course I have, Miss Northwood. Trouble is, all the men I like seem to be even poorer than I am. Well, I couldn't marry for money, could I? Or could I? Oh, come in, Mr. Guest.
I'm sorry I barged in like that. Oh, good morning, Miss Northwood.
Good morning, Mr. Guest.
How'd you get on yesterday?
The usual blank.
The pig farm?
Not a sausage, needed investment.
Well, the woman who advertised for a willing girl.
Turned out to be a man.
Oh, whatever next?
Well, look, I've just been looking in the agony column of the Times.
Why were you looking in the agony column?
Well, because I always do.
Oh, in the course of duty?
And the... What do you mean?
Well, wasn't I once told that crooks put messages in code in the agony column? Oh, you know the sort of thing. Julia, always thinking of you. Shall we meet on Valentine's Day? Meaning, meet me outside the Bank of England with dynamite and blowtorch.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll probably learn more about that when I get to Hendon next week.
I've never had a policeman rooming here before.
Oh, I'll only be a cadet, Miss Northwood.
Oh, still, it might come in useful.
No, I've come to show you something which suits you down to the ground. Listen. If a young lady of around 25 years of age...
Well, that's a good start.
Fair hair, good complexion.
Oh, that you have, miss.
Go on.
Straight nose.
Straight-ish.
A slim figure. Height around 5 feet 5 inches.
Sort of.
Well, you've certainly got a slim figure.
Oh, thanks. It's starvation. Oh, go on.
Oh, good mimic.
What on earth does that mean?
Well, it doesn't say. Able to speak French.
Oh, dear, that does it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I speak it rather well.
Oh, good.
Well, calls at number 30, Endersley Square, between the hours of 2:30 and 4:30 p.m.
She may learn something to her advantage. Hello.
Hello. What a from?
Yes. Do you know what it's all about?
Not a clue. The times is hard, as they say, so who cares? My name's Ollie DeWitt.
Holly
Witt, W-I-T-T. What's yours?
Jane Cleveland.
No, I mean your professional name.
Alas and alack, I have no profession.
Then what if this jamboree turns out to be for dancing girls?
No getting job. Do you
Do I what?
dance?
If called upon. Rather things I do better.
Like speaking French?
Oh, heavens, yes, my second language. Just brushing up. Oh, good, they've been kicked out. We can move up free.
Excuse me.
Next! It is possible, mademoiselle, that you are the person for which we search for.
Good.
Parlez un petit peu français, s'il vous plaît, mademoiselle.
Dans le vieux parc solitaire et glacé, deux femmes ont tout l'air passé. Verlaine.
Of course. Yes. French good.
What is the job, if you don't mind me asking?
I cannot tell you that, mademoiselle, yet. If you are chosen, then you will be told.
But why all the mystery? If it's something I wouldn't dream of doing, why all the catechism?
Are you intelligent?
Intelligent enough to be careful what I let myself into. Is it anything to do with the stage?
The stage? Heavens forbid.
Crime?
Oh, come now. Is that likely?
Well, it's not for me to say.
Do you have discretion?
I have oodles of discretion and tons of intelligence. Anything else?
Are you married?
What has that got to do with it?
Will you permit me to ask the questions?
No.
I beg your pardon?
Well, no, I'm not married.
Engaged, perhaps.
Not even perhaps.
You have a mother, a father?
Yes, one of each.
Still alive?
No.
Then who is your next of kin?
My next of kin? Good heavens, am I liable to be bumped off?
Oh, no. It's just elementary precaution.
Oh, well, I don't see why. Particularly as I have nothing of importance to leave to anyone. And what is the fee for this mystery tour?
£2,000.
2? Blow me.
For 2 or 3 days' work.
My name is Miss Jane Cleveland. My next of kin is Miss Northwood, who lives at 32A, Handel Crescent, North W1.
All right. Now I give you your instructions. You know Claridge's Hotel?
Oh, well, I know where it is. I've never actually eaten there, worse luck.
You are to go there and ask for Count Streptich. This will ensure that the Count will see you. The final decision lies with him and with one other person.
I am Count Streptich. The good Colonel Kranin has sent you here.
Yes.
I take his word that you may possibly prove suitable. Would you mind walking to the door, please?
Oh, like a mannequin?
No, just naturally. And back again. The Princess Anna. A moment, please.
She might do better than any of the others.
I agree. And Kranin has passed her in French. Miss Cleveland, this is the Princess Anna Mikhailovna. Princess Miss Jane Cleveland.
How do you do?
And now, my child, do you have courage?
Oh, I don't like being hurt, if that's what you mean.
No, what I mean is danger.
No, I don't mind danger.
And you would like to earn very much money?
Oh, I would very much like to earn very much money.
Shall I explain matters, Anna Mikhailovna?
No, Her Highness wishes to do that herself.
It is not wise.
Nevertheless, it is her command. Wait here.
Her Highness?
The Grand Duchess Paulina of Ostravia.
I say, wasn't there something in the paper about her coming here? A bazaar or something?
That is true, in aid of Australian refugees.
Your Royal Highness, allow me to present Miss Jane Cleveland.
This is splendid, Anna. Wonderful. Come, let us see each other side by side. You see, it's a good match.
You are perhaps a trifle taller, Your Highness?
No, who would notice? No, nothing could be better. It is settled. Oh, hang on a tick. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing yet.
Oh, true, I forgot. I will tell her. Leave us alone, both of you.
But you're
Go.
right.
And do not argue. And order some tea for us at once. Oh, they're tiresome, these old people. Now, Miss...
Oh, Cleveland, Jane Cleveland.
Do sit down.
Thank you.
Now tell me, do you know the history of Australia?
Oh, not very well, I'm afraid.
All my family are dead, murdered by the rebels. I am the last of my line, but of course, being a woman, I cannot sit on the throne. You'd think they would let me alone, would you not?
And don't they?
No. They make my life a misery wherever I go. The vodka-soaked brutes.
Oh, I see.
I live in semi-retirement in Paris, but sometimes I have to go abroad to raise money for my exiled countrymen.
Like attending bazaars.
Oh, you know about that?
Well, yes, I read it in the paper this morning.
Well, that is to raise money for Australian refugees. Lady Anchester is very kindly lending me her house in Buckinghamshire.
But I don't see where I come into all this.
It is very important that I should not be assassinated in the next few days.
Assassinated? Oh, you want me to...
Want you to what, ma chère?
Peut-être pas de vol domestique.
Oh, les domestiques. No, what were you going to say?
Will you want me to take your place?
Only at large public functions, you understand, not in any intimacy.
No, of course not.
Thank you, that will be all.
Merci, madame.
Now, to business.
What happens if I get assassinated instead of you?
Oh, there is a risk. But it seems more probable that they would rather kidnap me and demand money. Killing me would make a martyr of me.
Oh, I see.
Of course, they might throw a bomb. Milk or lemon?
Lemon, please. I think we should discuss the fee, don't you?
Ah, I cannot remember what Colonel Craneen suggested. Sugar?
Yes, please. £2,000.
Well, is it enough? Would you rather have 3,000?
Oh, I'd rather have 3,000.
Oh, I am so glad you're a businesslike. Me, I have no head for money at all. What I want, I have to have.
Oh, I do so agree. That's why I'd rather have 3,000.
And then, of course, there is the danger. Although you don't seem the sort of girl to mind that.
Within certain limits, I suppose.
You see, it is very important for my country that I should marry and have at least 2 sons. An heir to the throne of Australia is absolutely essential.
Oh, and a spare.
A spare? Oh, what a quaint way of putting it. And then, well, after that, it doesn't really matter what happens to me. So, will you accept?
Okay, I accept.
Excellent! Have a cucumber sandwich. I have explained everything. Miss Cleveland will do as we ask.
But can we be absolutely sure she can play her part?
For £3,000? I'll show you. Excellent, Anna. This is wonderful. Come, let us see each other side by side.
You see, it's a good match.
Yes, it would deceive most people.
Yes, it is true.
Oh, how clever you are. I couldn't imitate anybody to save my life. Miss Cleveland is to have £3,000.
It will be seen to, Highness.
Come, Miss Cleveland. We must go and try some of my clothes on you. Bring your tea. Now, this is what I shall wear for the bazaar at the Ryan House the day after tomorrow. Of course, it may not be necessary for you to take my place there, but try it on just in case.
Golly, I've never seen anything so stunning. It must have cost a fortune.
I suppose so. Yet I envy you. I am never allowed to wear anything simple.
Cheap, you mean?
No, simple. Sometimes simplicity can be the height of chic.
Perhaps one day it'll be chic to have ladders in one's stockings.
And of course, if we do have to change places at a moment's notice, I think you should be wearing something quite different. Don't you?
Yes, what a clever idea.
Perhaps a flame red Marocaine.
Oh, that would be very striking. And of course I must look quite different, mustn't I? Sort of old-fashioned, perhaps. Spectacles or something.
Excellent, excellent. But Let us hope it will not be necessary. There. Oh, it's perfect. Well, oh, yes, a shade too long on you, but...
I see you wear low heels, Your Highness. Do you always?
Oh, yes, I cannot abide the high heels.
Could you show me the shoes you will be wearing for the bazaar?
Yes, of course. I love dressing up, don't you?
Yes. If you were to buy the same shoes but with a higher heel, that would even us up.
Oh, yes, of course. Now, you're being clever. What do you want? Can't you see we're busy?
Forgive me, Your Highness, but Count Streptish thinks it advisable that he should book rooms for Miss Cleveland at the Ritz.
The Ritz? Golly, how stunning. But do you think it's really necessary?
We think so.
Oh, I agree. And we must also find a reason for you to be staying in London.
A different name, perhaps?
Exactly. Count Streptish suggests a Mrs. Smith.
Oh, no, there'll be enough Mrs. Smith staying at the Ritz.
Mrs. Jones?
Ditto.
Mrs.
Guest.
Very well, we will call you Mrs. Guest.
From?
From New York.
Golly, more mimicry.
And then... What are you?
Thoroughly confused.
Oh, yes, of course. We must find a reason for you to be hanging around close by.
A photographer.
I've got it, a journalist.
Well done. An American journalist staying at the Ritz. Perfect.
This afternoon, Miss Cleveland, you will buy anything you need in the way of clothes, and tomorrow you will move into the Ritz Hotel.
What about the wherewithal?
The wherewithal? What?
Dummkopf. The money to buy the clothes.
Yes, of course. £100.
Oh, for dress, shoes, gloves, and bag.
Exactly.
Thank you. At the same time, I shall need an advance on my fee.
But surely until you have actually done something...
Oh, for heaven's sake, Streptich, give us some more of the wherewithal.
Thank you, Your Highness. Oh, £200 should prove sufficient. So I beetled off to Norman Hartnell's and bought this. I love red, don't you? Oh, and what about these shoes? Tray, slinky. And this bag, oh, what do you think of this cheeky little titfer?
Yes, well, great. Swell.
Your enthusiasm overwhelms me.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure I like the sound of it.
My dear chap, it was you who put me onto it.
Yes, I know, but I didn't know it was going to get...
Well, now you want to take me off it.
Well, just to be cautious.
Oh, you policeman.
I can only go by what you told me. I mean, did you ask to see their credentials?
If we're going to stoop to old music hall jokes...
No, I'm serious.
Oh, why shouldn't they be genuine? Well, it's all in the papers about the Grand Duchess of Australia coming here. Is she doing anything wrong by using me as her double?
No, but I have a funny feeling...
Oh, come now, Mr. Guest. What policemen were supposed to deal with facts and figures, not funny feelings.
I'd just like you to look after yourself, that's all.
Well, as sure as my name is... Oh, good Lord.
What?
Well, we had to think of a made-up name for my staying at the Ritz, and I said Guest. Well, it was the first name that came into my head.
Well, I'm flattered. Miss or Mrs.?
Miss. Of course.
Well, I won't hang about. I just wanted to see how it went, that's all.
Oh, hang on a tick.
Well, now what?
Well, I thought we'd... I thought I'd celebrate. Well, I had some moolah left over from my shopping spree, so... Champagne, thought I.
No, honestly, I feel I'm intruding.
Oh, nonsense. Well, I'd be glad of some good, solid English company.
Is that a compliment?
Well, you know what I mean. After dealing with floods of foreigners, I mean, I thought at any minute they'd break into the White Horse Inn or Ivor Novello. Oh, here, you have a go. There's this bizarre thing the Grand Duchess is going to the day after tomorrow.
Yes, it's well advertised.
Well, they say there might be an attempt to kidnap her.
For heaven's sake, Miss Cleveland, you could be killed.
Oh, I've decided to take the risk. I've told them I don't mind danger, and think of all those fivers. Oh, Nigel, look out. Mr. Guest, I mean.
Nigel's fine.
You see, I've never dreamt of so much money in all my life.
You haven't got it yet.
Oh, why are you so depressing? I shall get it as soon as the Grand Duchess is safely out of the country.
Well, look, I think you should let me look into the whole thing. I mean, you could obviously be in some danger.
Oh, all this knight-errant business is so old-fashioned.
You mean you can look after yourself?
Of course I can. I mean, well, I have so far, haven't I?
Fine. Then I won't worry. Good. Swell. Cheers.
Cheers. I also went to Lion's Corner House and bought something beginning with F. Food.
A transformation indeed.
Do you think I'll pass?
I scarcely recognized you.
Well, I'm quite ready.
I think it only fair to tell you, Miss Cleveland,
Mrs.
that...
Guest, Count Streptich. My name is Mrs. Guest, and I work for the New York Gazette.
Yes, of course. Mrs. Guest. Well, I think it only fair to tell you, Mrs. Guest, that late last night we received information that an attempt to kidnap Her Highness will almost certainly be made this afternoon on her way back from the bazaar.
Then why don't I take her place from the beginning?
Because Her Highness and Lady Anchester are old friends.
But how will I know when I'm supposed to make the switch?
At the end of Her Highness's little speech, you will step forward and ask for an interview.
But how do we change clothes in the middle of the bazaar?
The Princess Anna will arrange that, you may be sure.
Well, I'm ready to be kidnapped.
The address... Orion House, Little Missenden, Buckinghamshire. I cannot, of course, accompany you.
No, I do see that.
I shall naturally be with the royal entourage.
Of course.
You will go to Aylesbury by train.
At the same time, I think I should have a further advance on my fee. I mean, you do owe me over £2,000.
Certainly. How much would you like?
Another 200, perhaps?
Another 200. But what if the plan fails to succeed?
It won't. By the way, how do I get the balance of my fee?
Colonel Craneen remains in London. He will pay you.
Marylebone Station, please. Thank you.
Isn't the Grand Duchess here yet?
Oh, I think not.
Have all those wonderful pearls been collected?
Oh, some days ago, I believe.
And in safekeeping, I trust. I hear they're worth more than £10,000. 10,000!
There's something happening now.
Your Highness, may I present Lady Anchester?
Your Highness, welcome to Orion House. It is so kind of you to throw open your lovely home for the cause which is so close to my heart.
I have always wanted to meet your Highness. We are both fighters in the cause of freedom.
My aide-de-camp, Count Streptich.
Enchanté.
Enchanté. The Princess Anna.
Enchanté.
And our London representative, Colonel Craneen.
Enchanté.
Enchanté. And now, Your Highness, allow me to escort you round the bazaar. You will be pleased to know that sales are already brisk.
Oh, what a beautiful old house. The pearls are already collected?
I believe so.
A most rewarding and gratifying afternoon. I cannot tell you how pleased I am that you have worked so hard to alleviate the terrible plight of my countrymen and women. I must give particular many thank yous to the 100 lady friends of Australia who have so generously donated the gift of 1 pearl from their priceless necklaces, and which, I am told, will be auctioned at the end of the day. For me, alas, I must pull myself away, for I must be in Paris early tomorrow morning to attend a meeting with the president. But merci, mes chers amis, merci.
Princess, I'm Mrs. Guest from the New York Gazette. I was wondering if I could have a few words with the Grand Duchess.
Yes, I remember you well when I was in America. So many kind things you have written about my country.
My dear Lady Anchester, I wonder whether it would be possible a private room for a couple of minutes.
Why, of course. Come with me.
Now, as they say, fire away.
You say you leave for Paris this afternoon, Princess?
That is so, on the night train. Although I am desolate to be leaving England, a country that offers so much.
You must come back again very soon, Your Highness.
How kind. Continue, I have so little time.
You have many engagements in Paris?
Yes, many meetings of the Australian refugee committees.
Yes, yes, of course.
Continuez.
En Angleterre, vous avez trouvé la sympathie pour votre pays?
Mais oui, absolument.
Et d'argent, j'espère?
Oh, c'est mademoiselle. Cet après-midi, par exemple, beaucoup d'argent.
Ça, c'est parce que tous mes amis sont tristes que votre beau pays est embarrassé.
My dear Lady Anchester, you're wanted in the tea tent.
Oh, thank you, Princess. Excusez-moi, Your Highness.
I must be seen with that. Oh, but quick, quick, off you go. Well, that's that. I think I did rather nicely, don't you?
You played your part with great distinction.
Except I had to leave my handbag with the Grand Duchess, with all my money in it.
You have no need to worry.
ladies can get safely out of the country.
Out. And then put up your hands.
What is the meaning of this outrage?
Get out if you know what's good for you, illustrious lady.
That way.
Up there. Left.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the pièce de résistance of the afternoon. In this bag, you will find 100 exquisite pearls, some of which are the almost priceless black pearls. 100 pearls donated by 100 wonderful and compassionate ladies.
Oh, good food. I'm very hungry. Still, no luxury for aristocrats. Will you begin, Princess, or shall I?
How could I touch a thing until I know my mistress is safe?
Oh. Well, I'll tuck in if you don't mind. I never got as far as the tea tent, and I seem to be in more danger than she is. Oh, not bad. Princess, there's something that puzzles me. At the Ritz, I remember suggesting to Count Streptitch it might be simpler if I doubled with the Grand Duchess from the beginning of the afternoon. He said that wouldn't be possible because the two ladies knew each other very well. I remember at Orion House, Lady Anchester saying something about always wanting to meet her. So they couldn't have met before, could they? Oh, Princess, please don't cry. Everything will be all right.
I'm bid 15,500. 600. 750. 16,000. That's 16,000 pounds. At 16,000, and I shall sell, ladies and gentlemen. Any advance on 16,000?
Yes, I'll take them.
What is your bid, madam?
This.
No one move or I'll shoot! No one move!
No one move! line must have been cut, of course.
Miss Cecil, will you go at once to the police station?
Of course, Lady Anchester.
From 5-2. Mr. Guest has reported a robbery at a Ryan house. Oh, no, he's not done it. He's reported it. He's starting at Hendon next week. Yes, that's right, la-di-da.
Do hurry.
Well, from what I can make out, there's a Grand Duchess, what isn't a Grand Duchess. There's a girl in a red dress, what isn't in a red dress. And then there's... What? Well, I don't know what she's wearing in that case. No, she's only a...
Dupe. Dupe.
A dupe. No dupe. How do you spell it?
Her name is Jane Cleveland.
J-A...
Give me the phone, please. Let me talk to your super quickly, please.
Sergeant, there's been a hold-up at Orion House.
Hear that? It's been reported again.
A girl in a red dress.
The girl in the red dress again.
Lost it. A fine policeman I'll make. My head. Water. Anything.
No! It's poison!
My head. I thought they'd all gone.
Who are they? Where's Princess Anne?
She was part of the gang.
How did... Have you dreaming?
Afraid not. You got pulled into a brilliant crime. Are you feeling okay?
No.
Oh, me. I've got to check with the local police.
Oh, wait, you can't leave me.
I'll only be 15 minutes.
No!
I thought you didn't mind danger.
Well, okay, I'm a liar.
You're perfectly safe. The Australian lot will be halfway to a Channel port by now.
15 minutes, then.
I promise.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I ask where you've come from?
The Orion House.
And going to?
London.
We have been attending a bazaar in aid of...
Some refugees from... where?
Australia. And you are?
I am Monsieur Legrand, and this is my wife.
And I am Monsieur Boulestin of the Corps Diplomatique and Madame Boulestin.
Ah, you're French.
Yes,
When you were at Orion House, did you by any chance notice a young woman in a red dress?
Ah oui, that was a young, how do you say, journalist in a red dress and a little red chapeau.
Ah. And when did you leave Orion House?
Just before the, qu'est-ce que c'est le mot?
Auction?
So, I believe a number of pearls have been donated.
And this journalist, was she American?
Oh, I would say that she was, and yet...
Yes?
Something about her accent was not quite right.
Of course, it is very difficult for us to tell.
Of course. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You've been most helpful. A young woman, possibly American, in a red dress. Merci. Drive on. Did you get all that, Sergeant?
Oh, no. I thought you were...
We're the police, miss. We've been instructed to pick you up and take you to the superintendent.
Oh, but I have nothing to do with it. Oh, the Grand Duchess left this here and... Oh, hell, what am I saying?
Come along, miss. Everything's all right.
May I see your credentials?
It's not far, miss. The car's just outside.
Super Australia. in Royce to May, Australia, Australia, a brick and brack.
I did as you suggested, lad. Let them through. Posing as Frenchmen. But your descriptions were so spot on, there was no doubting who they were.
I hope it'll lead to the rest of the gang.
Forces alerted all down the line. They won't get away.
Nigel, tell them. I've tried to explain. I'll tell them.
He's already explained, miss. Everything's under control.
Isn't there a Grand Duchess of Australia?
Kidnapped. Last week in Paris. And locked up in an old lodge in the Ardennes. The real Count Streptich managed to escape 48 hours later and raised the alarm.
Then I'm no longer under suspicion.
No, miss. You and your boyfriend can skedaddle, though you may be needed as a witness.
Oh, of course.
Well done, young man. You should do well at the Hendon College.
Thank you, sir.
Off you go, the two of you. And good luck.
Thank you.
Come on.
Hold on tight.
But honestly, pinching all my money, if you hadn't lent me your last £5, I'd never have got out of the Ritz.
You still have the red dress. And the fur.
Yes, but I can't eat them.
Hungry? Me too.
I hope they feed you well at Hendon.
I was going to ask you to dinner, but...
But how could you have known who was who? I mean, you couldn't have been that close.
Well, I did notice that when the so-called Grand Duchess arrived at Orion House, she had low heels on. But when she came out, in exactly the same outfit, she had high heels on. So I smelt a rat and guessed it was you.
Oh, thanks very much.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Yes, of course I do. And I think it was frightfully clever.
Well, actually, I was brought up in the boot trade. Yeah, my dad's a sort of boot king in Northampton. Well, he always wanted me to go into the trade and settle down, that sort of thing.
What sort of thing?
Well, marry and settle down, that sort of thing.
Oh, I see.
But I always wanted to be a policeman. And settle down.
Well, I think you'll make a wonderful detective.
Well, part of the job, powers of observation.
Oh, but you didn't observe the man behind you with a kosh.
Absolutely correct. Perhaps a medium good detective.
No, that wasn't fair. After all, you've still got a job. I'm back where I started.
Not necessarily.
Now, Mr. Guest, how long do you like your eggs boiled?
3.5 minutes, please.